Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. Today's video, we're going to talk about how our civilization might not survive the oncoming or the incoming next world war. These are warnings, guys, we are starting to hear more and more often now. You're starting to hear different people talk about it. There was a guy named Charles Nenner. I'll link the Rumble video in the description section below. George Soros, who was at the World Economic Forum, along with the other elites. George Soros, who they call a philanthropist, by the way, giving him the nice title of a good guy when he is quite the opposite, warned about how the Russian-Ukraine war is going to enter us into a third world war, and the third world war is going to be the catalyst to the end of civilization. Now, I'm going to get into what the end of civilization might be. I don't think it's what it legitimately means, meaning that all humanity is going to die. I think the way we live is going to change, but I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Now, guys, the warnings have been given pretty much all last week at the World Economic Forum meeting in Davos, Switzerland last week. Numerous guests, if you will, were talking about the different things that can end civilization. One of them, of course, being climate change, and the other one being, of course, the Third World War. So, I mean, listen, guys, they're looking for a reason. Like, they don't quite know. I mean, listen, I think they do know. Me, wholeheartedly, I think they know what the playbook is, but they're throwing two options out there. Even Charles Nenner, he threw two options out there. The Third World War was the most likely reason for civilization to end, but they also threw in climate change because of the earth is changing. Again, guys, not interested in the argument of there's no climate change. We're clearly seeing climate changing throughout the world. Now, whether it's our fault or not, that remains to be seen. But we know that they're going to use climate change as a way to control us. Because again, if you're going to blame cows for the climate change, but not the giant fucking factories in India and China and also here in the United States pumping shit into the atmosphere, well then, we know that their reasoning for climate change blaming cows is bullshit. We know that. But if they're not looking at shutting China down, for example, or shutting Russia down, who also has, in Ukraine, who also has these big ass fucking factories pumping shit into the atmosphere, then we know that they're full of shit. Now, guys, at the World Economic Forum, George Soros was speaking about the increase in fighting between the open society and closed society. Now, open society, guys, is a government that is going to protect the people's freedom, right? Like the United States does or used to do. And a closed society is that of people who serve the government, all right? So George Soros is saying that there's an increase in fighting, guys. That means they are trying to push their closed society on an open society, and the open society is fighting back. And that he's seen an increase in battle, if you will, between the two societies. So clearly, guys, the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset, is a closed society. And they're fighting with the open society, us. They're going to be fighting with us to the very end. Now, guys, interestingly enough, they invited more media coverage on last week's World Economic Forum meeting. They're looking to get the message out there a little more now that you got 3 years left, right? Because supposedly 2025 is supposed to be kaput for most of the, not most, but a lot of the human race. Like, I think it's like a third of the human race, but depends on what you read. If you read the, what is it called, the Deagle report? If you read the Deagle report, it's 50 to 60%. If you read the World Economic Forum, they said a third. So who knows what's going to happen, but we know that a large percentage of people are going to disappear off this planet. Now, guys, remember when I said before in my other videos, I talked about cataclysmic change for the Great Reset to implement their bullshit. Well, interestingly enough, George Soros said the same thing last week. He said that it's going to, something cataclysmic is going to happen for this to happen, what he means the Great Reset or the closed society taking hold of open society, or everybody from open society being rolled into closed society. Now listen, guys, closed society is not for everyone, meaning those of us who are for open society or for individual freedoms, we are going to be the one that are going to be fighting tooth and nail. But to what degree, I don't know. I don't know how far we're going to go. I don't know how far it's going to get. With technology today, guys, they're making technology an enslavement tool. If you don't realize all the new shit that's coming out that's meant to enslave us, even our phones to a point, it's meant to enslave us. They're coming out with more technology that's going to really enslave us so that when they track us, they know exactly where we are. And if we disobey them, we can get reprimanded or punished through the technology. And that technology, guys, is what's going to control the closed society. The open society is probably going to step away and live life somewhere else until they don't like that anymore and then attack that open society, wherever that might be. But, guys, civilization ending, I don't think it's going to be, well, listen, it's going to be bad. But it's not like Mad Max ending civilization. I think what we currently know today as civilization, as our current society, is going to end. And we're going to live under new rules. Or, sorry, people are going to live under new rules. The rest of us will be fighting some fucking war that no one's going to be paying attention to. Because I can guarantee you, when it comes down to that point where we fight against that closed society, the rest of the world is not going to know anything about it, because they're going to control that media. They're going to control the narrative. And they'll never hear about us fighting in closed society. And if they do hear about us, we're going to be the kooks. Like we already are, because we've been prepping for this shit. People made fun of us. Now it's coming or here. And now they're going to make us look crazy for getting ready for something that might never happen. So they say. But either way, guys, I think the prepper community is going to, the large portion of us are going to ride this storm out, because we're paying close attention. We've been following this for decades. We know what's coming, or we have an idea what's coming. That being said, guys, because we're paying attention, we know where we can move. We know how we can move. We know how we're going to miss this. We have options because we know what's going on. So being that we know early before the normies, listen, the normies are not going to know what hit them. We know what's coming, and I think we're going to be able to ride this out. We're going to have to play this like the Matrix, guys. Dodge all the fucking bullets they throw at us. But we're going to have that advantage because we know. The normies aren't. The normies are still wondering why fucking Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case is going on. Right? With that, guys, just keep paying attention to what they're doing and what they're saying. Pay attention to the moves they are making. Pay attention to the plans they are trying to put in place. As long as you follow those things, we'll probably ride it out with them. Not that we're on their side, but we're going to ride out this storm with them. All right, guys? So other than that, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.